Well, hey y'all, how are you doing today? We are back with another episode of The Creative Process. It's just a series of conversations with some dope creatives. I'm so excited for today's guest, but let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Angie B, and I am the creator of The Creative Process. Now, how was it birthed? Well, let me tell you. So I came up with the concept during the pandemic. You know, we were all inside, stuck inside, and we just had a lot of time to ourselves and a lot of time to think. And I had a lot of time to think about life and myself and all of the things in my hand creatively that wasn't acting on. And I just remember just seeing people just dying left and right. And I know I say this a lot, but it was a wake up call for me. Just seeing people dying left and right. And then just thinking about all the talents and the goals and the dreams that a lot of them may have had, or the projects that they wanted to birth, or the songs that they wanted to sing or write, or the books in their hands, and they were gone. And I thought about myself, and I thought about, what if I were to leave this earth? Because with COVID-19, you just didn't know how people contracted it. You didn't know how it was spreading so rapidly. So I was looking at myself in my life, and I was like, what if I were to be one of the people who were leaving this earth? And I thought about all the things that I always talk about, or I write about, or I dream about, and how I just sit on them. So I was like, it's time to move. It is time to move, and it's time to do something. So that is how the creative process was birthed. Again, it is a series of conversations with dope creatives, and I have a very dope creative online with me today. And I want to read her bio before we get into the conversation. But you know what? Let me rewind. I want you to go and share this interview. I know it's going to inspire and touch somebody out there. So share this interview with someone. Follow my page on Facebook, which is Angie B Creative. Angie Beasley is my personal page. I am also on Instagram at Angie B Creative. And you can also visit my website. It's angiebcreative.co. So it's all basically Angie B Creative. All right, now enough about me. Let's get into my guest on today. And her name is Raion Ramsey, RR. She's an artist, CEO, vocal teacher, and mentor. Like, I have so many talented people coming through on this show. So about Raion, and she's so much more. Raion, and we like to call her Ray, was born on March 19th to Rhea and Donald Ramsey, which is a beast. He's a musical beast in himself. In New Orleans, the city of all music. It's been said that Raion has been singing before she could even talk, with her dad and grandfather, both being amazing vocalists and musicians, which it was inevitable for Raion to pick up the same gift. Raion's biggest dream is to touch as many hearts through music as she possibly can. She's a graduate of Dillard University, whoop, whoop, where she majored in vocal performance. Soon after, she opened her own nonprofit called YoungStarz of NOLA, a vocal performing arts organization for kids with and without disabilities. Owning YoungStarz and being a working artist, she finds it very important to be a tangible role model for her students and pursuing her dreams while also turning them into reality. Ray has had many opportunities as an artist, singing background for Essence Fest, Jazz Fest, French Quarter Fest, whatever fest you think of, she probably sang at it, okay? And so much more, and perform many places as a solo artist. It's such a bright future ahead. Raion stays grounded in her faith and love, knowing when you put your heart and mind into anything, you can achieve it. So what's going on, Raion? How you doing today?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on today. You look amazing, and I'm just so
You
excited
too.
have this conversation with you, girl.
Yes.
So You're so multi-talented. But before we go there, I ask every single creative that comes on to define what is a creative or creativity to them. So you tell us, what does that mean to you?
To me, I feel like being a creative, I guess, would be like taking risk, you know? Like I feel like creatives, we just kind of have this, we have this imagination, and sometimes I feel like those imaginations are like dreams, and then those dreams can become tangible, like you can make them reality, so I feel like just kind of like taking a risk, like that is what being creative mean, like those dreams you have, those desires, like just risking it, like saying, you know what, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna just put it out there, and I'm gonna just do it. I think that's what creativity is, like making your dreams come to reality, just
I,
like risking it, like being very risky. I feel like, yeah.
I feel
Mm.
like that is your motto. It's like your life's theme, taking risk and
So risky.
dreams are reality. You always, I think that's the tagline for Young Stars, helping stars make dreams into reality. So I think that is like your life's theme, if I'm
Yeah.
correct.
Yes.
I
I
love
just feel like creatives, we're just wired differently, like when you try to have a conversation with someone who's not a creative, they can't really understand because we're just wired differently, and so I feel like it's within our DNA. So it becomes like second nature. So those dreams that someone else probably wouldn't have, like you have that, right? It's a reason you have that dream. So it's like being a creative, like,
absolutely.
let's let's see, let that dream grow, because it's not for no reason.
Right. And it may have been given to you because you're the only person who can carry it out in the way that you can carry it out, right?
Yeah, yes, I agree with that. I agree, that's just what it is. It's like I feel like God gives you like a dream, like you have this dream, you have this vision, and then once you plant that seed, then he gives you people who are also like amazing to help with that dream, who can complement the dream. Like he blesses you with your surroundings, with people who can benefit off that dream. It can help you, it can help them. And I just feel like once that happens, like it's meant to happen,
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. Like I think I said this in the interview with Jared, the dreamer, how when you take the first steps, like with the creative process, I sat down and I wrote out a list of all the people I wanted to interview, and you were one of them. And I categorized them, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this happen, or how I'm gonna birth this, or how I'm gonna record it. I didn't know it. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but I just moved forward and I did it. So I just moved forward, I did it, and as I stepped forward and as I took the steps to make this happen, people just came in my life. They'll give me a tip, or I'd find a resource, or
Mhm.
some kind of connection. So I agree that God will transpire and make your dreams happen. So
Yeah, because I mean, you've sown your seeds, you know what I'm saying? Like you've been the assistant, you've been the person who has helped people with their dreams. So it's like when it's your turn, because you've sown those seeds, like you're gonna reap that, it's like inevitable. So this is like you can ask me for help any day, anytime. Like that's just what that is. It's cross partnership.
thank you so much, Raion Ramsey. Um, so now I want to talk about your creative ventures and your endeavors and how they were birthed. So you are like a multifaceted person, and I know that you are an artist. You are the owner and CEO of YoungStarz, and I remember because we used to roll, okay, and I
Mhm.
remember when you first came up with the concept of Young Stars and how amazing we all thought it was, and how you took that leap out to launch this, and look at it now. It's
That's
like when you used to say it was
crazy.
a little baby and then it was a toddler. Nah,
Mine's bad. It's bad.
okay,
It's bad.
it is
Like
running.
bad toddler. Sit down.
Yes, I want you to talk about that. Also, the background vocals you do, because you are a dope artist and background vocalist, and then worship leading. So I know that's a lot, but let's start off with you as the artist, and then let's roll into how Young Stars was birthed.
Okay. So, okay, where do I start? Artist. Okay, so let's just start from the very beginning. Like my mom told me I've been singing since before I can talk. So I feel like as long as I've known myself, I've been singing, right? That's the thing that I just wanted to do in life. Like, and I felt like, when you grow up and you see singers and sometimes like you say, "Oh, I want to be a singer." It's just like everybody wants to sing. So it's like I always had that fear of like, well, everybody want to sing. Like, so what is going to be so different about me? Or like, am I going to really make it doing this? You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, I don't really know what else I can do like that. Like, this is what I can do. Like, I love doing it. I enjoy doing it. So, I mean, I did it my entire life. Then college came. I just remember being in college, and I just remember telling my dad like I want to be an artist, like I want to do shows and stuff like that. So then I started doing shows at like Sweet Lorraine's.
I remember that.
Like yes, so like artists, I did the Sweet Lorraine's, I did like BGVs, like when I was that age, like basically learning like that proper protocol, like those etiquette skills that people don't really understand or know. Like I was getting really big gigs when I was in college, like so that was just that. And I just remember releasing videos, like kind of writing songs, kind of getting into that. But then I kind of like fell off a little bit because I started getting discouraged. I don't know, just trying to find my sound. Because then another thing, I sing so many genres. I sing jazz, I sing musical theater, I sing R&B, I sing opera. Like, how do you put that into one person? How do I put that into one album? Really, honestly, I don't know. So that's just where I kind of fell at. But then I graduated from college. I kind of wasn't really doing the singing as an artist thing. I was just doing BGVs, and then I started teaching. And once I started teaching, I definitely wasn't doing the artist thing like that. But so then what happened was I got fired. And this is the crazy thing, and I feel like I always say this, Young Stars, I opened Young Stars when I was 25. And when I was growing up, like I never really wanted to be a business owner. I never said that, oh, I want to be a business owner when I grow up. No, I said I wanted to be a singer. Like I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be famous for singing. Like that's what I always said, right? Kind of just like bliss, like ignorance is bliss. That's why I kind of felt like that's what I knew I wanted. I wasn't thinking about nothing else. So when I got fired from the job, open Young Stars, like, and with me running Young Stars, I found out that I had to be at a place in order for my business to be at a place, right? So that means the fears that I had as an individual, as an artist, like I felt like my voice is too soft. People not gonna like my voice. Like like those insecurities, like I felt like I started having students who had those same insecurities, and I had to start pouring into them, like from a place. Like I had to pour into them when I struggle with the same thing. So I felt like working on myself to be better and better and better, and then also running Young Stars, helping them reach their dreams. And I'm thinking like I felt like I was living in fear. Like, okay, so now I see what needs to happen. In order for them to grow, I have to grow. So that means I have to take leaps of faith. I have to be brave. I need to be bold. Sometimes those insecurities need to be set to the side. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a bigger picture. It's not about just me anymore. Like people and things are connected to me. So I feel like, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm just like, as I'm turning their dreams into realities, I'm doing the same. And like loving myself, learning myself, knowing what type of artist I want to be, and also being that different type of artist who sings all those genres and be okay with that. I could give you vibes, while also being booked for a Broadway
Okay.
thing. You feel me? I could still have that album out while also being booked for this Broadway thing. Or I could give you, when you turn on the TV, you could hear a song and my song be on a commercial. You can be that person. I can, it's just I don't want to box myself. And I feel like I was boxing myself in. So now I am like Raion, the artist, and yeah, I love it.
And it's just beautiful just to see um, how far you've come in this confidence in knowing your lane and loving your lane and creating your lane and not boxing yourself into just one lane.
Yeah,
So that's pretty dope just to see that. So yeah, I love,
thank
of course.
yes.
So now let's talk about Young Stars, an amazing
Yeah.
organization. My little baby, still my little, still the godmother.
Yes, 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 forever.
And again, I remember when you had first birthed Young Stars, and just seeing what it is now, and seeing how it's impacted many youth, and like how passionate you are, and how that spills over into your kids, and just seeing how many talented kids you have and how they're just growing, and watching you pave the way. Like I remember I used to say, it's like you have an axe and the forest is in front of you, and you're just chopping it down, and you're just showing them how to blaze trails. So talk about that, and I want you to talk about how it's a nonprofit for kids with and without disabilities.
Okay, so basically, Young Stars is, I used to say it's a vocal performing arts organization, but I feel like now I am speaking that it is a full performing arts organization. So I'll say Young Stars is a performing arts organization for kids with and without disabilities. And we focus on basically whatever that core gift is. So if your child wants to sing, so we give them like vocal techniques. So basically, they are classically trained, and they don't necessarily have to sing classical music, but that is the foundation of just good and amazing singing, breathing, knowing how to breathe, placement, just really getting those technicalities. Because once you get that, baby, you could do it all.
Okay.
And as a brown person, honey, let's do it all.
Okay.
All. Let's do it all. Okay. So that is what they are built on. And so this year we added theater and dance. And yes, so I love, love, love musical theater. Like I love, like, if anybody know me, I am a musical, Broadway, Disney, music, whatever music.
Talk about
I love that.
all of
And
it.
I think that is so cool that you get a chance to, be creative and do that. I feel like you really understand foundational work as far as like bettering your craft. So that's what Young Stars is, bettering a craft, and also giving your student amazing resources, amazing opportunities to sing on stages that they probably couldn't sing on, if they weren't a part of an organization. So we're just in the business of trying to turn dreams into realities.
Absolutely. Um, so I want you to talk about Noah. He's one of your amazing students. I remember being around Noah, such a light, and how he has changed your viewpoint. Because I remember when you would talk about Noah, you would just get so full of emotion and
Mhm.
passion. You always talk about how he kind of just he changed your life forever.
Yes, yes.
Noah.
So basically, what happened was like once I graduated, I started teaching at the school, the place that I got fired from. I'm laughing, Ange, because you know. Anyway, so that place. So basically, a lot of my students came from there, and one of my students I met there his name was Noah, and he was blind. He's blind, and he's severe autistic. And Noah is, I remember his teacher, like the Mr. I forget his name, Mr. Mason. I feel like he was like, can Noah sing? People really don't invite him in because of his disabilities. I'm like, well, can he sing? He was like, yes, and he really can sing. So here comes the sun, do 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 do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling,
It's been a long, cold, lonely winter.
little darling. From this, Noah was at that time, he had to be 10. So from 10, he was like in the sixth grade, I think, like that, something like that. And so he came in the choir, and I just was being like, I'm just a regular person. I was treating Noah regular, just as like a regular child. Noah, sit down. Noah, Noah, come on, sing, because the thing is with disability kids, you don't treat them like they have a disability, you know, that is not what makes them, At the end of the day, Noah is still a talented kid who can comprehend right from wrong, and if you love him with an open heart, like he will feel that love genuinely. And he will latch on. Like he would be so comfortable, and you could get the best, you can you can kind of allow him to give you the best, like the best vocals, the best. He's gonna want to give that strive for better. So that's how that happened with Noah, and yeah, he moved, so he doesn't have one-on-one lessons with me anymore. But we just about to start virtual. But he's just an amazing kid, and I feel like one thing I love about him is that he don't know how I look. He does not know if I'm black or white. I always say, Noah, what color am I? He says, green. I said, well, what color are you? I am purple, And it's like, that's what life is about. You see no color. At the end of the day, like, he is growing. He knows that he is loved without seeing me. Like, he feels that, and I just feel like that within itself. Yeah, Noah is amazing.
Oh my God, that just warmed my heart. And I just remember, like, you just talking about that, you know,
He's so
how
dope.
he doesn't see color or even know that you're beautiful or what ugly is. Like, he just
I know.
view of life. But that just teaches us how we should be, in my opinion.
And that's what I want Young Stars to be about. A non-judgment place, a place where people can really be themselves. Like, a place where inner city kids can be like the underdog, the people who are looked past, because they are probably your most talented. They are the ones, if they just had a little resource, baby, those are your, like, the people who will make a difference in this world, the people that the world needs to hear. And I just feel like that's what I want YS to be. I just want it to be a place where the non-judge, where this is a place to better you and to give you the opportunity to change the narrative in your life and in your generation. Yeah.
It's a place to, just like you founded and started Do You Be You. Just
Yeah.
tell us about that.
So basically, because Young Stars right now is a tuition-based organization. Now, I do feel like, I don't know, let's just preferably say in the next 5 to 7 years, Young Stars will be just a one-time fee organization, just, like, for inner city. Because I feel like sometimes that be the issue, finances, and I'm not a person about money.
You're not hard up like that.
I'm not hard up about money like that. So it's like, if I can just have an opportunity where you just pay your one-time fee and then you in this thing, then so. But I started Do You Be You because I was like, well, since if you can't afford to come to Young Stars, at least you'll have a place where you can just do you and be you. No judgment. You can meet some other creatives that's your age. You could, if you're a vendor, like a young talented vendor, you can show your art here. You can sell your stuff here. Like, Do You Be You is a youth and teen open mic, and it's basically a DJ open mic, food vendors, and yeah. And I want that to happen like twice a month. We had like a little break, and it was probably necessary, but I really want Do You Be You when the dust has settled. I want Do You Be You to be a thing, like where young creators could come and be themselves, like be themselves totally, like do them and be them, like no judgment.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
like you said, do you be? You can come and do poetry. You can do a monologue.
And
You can.
my love.
You, I remember you said if you want to break dance, come and break dance. Whatever you want to do to express yourself, come
If
through.
you come in there and say, I'm a DJ. Let me all that. You can do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want. And then when we partner with the House of Blues, that also is an amazing opportunity for people to come and see you, and you can gain further resources without being a part of the organization. So that's what it's just about. Like, I feel like we can't fault parents for not doing better if they don't know better, right? So it's like if we can give them that opportunity to offer them the resources so they can do better, then yeah, why not? Why not?
So when you say you partnered with the House of Blues, that sounds like you opening up and making ways and opening doors for your students. So tell me a little bit about that opportunity that was created through Young Stars for the students to have the opportunity to perform at the House of Blues. Like, what is
Yes. So basically, I met Robin through this my friend Justin Williams, and Justin is a producer. So basically, Justin will used to work at this place called Notes for Notes, and so Robin is their, what is she called? Their administrative coordinator? No, that's not it. She she's basically over all of the like partnerships with students and stuff like that. She's like the coordinator of something like that. But anyway, met Robin. She's they have a program at the House of Blues called House of Blues Music Forward, which is for industry workers. So that's like they show you how to get jobs on stage, off stages, and they also give you opportunities in the city. So she came to our concert that was at the Contemporary Arts Center, right? That year. That was 2018.
it was a great year.
And she came to me and was like, I'm gonna do an in-house artist development workshop with your students. She was like, we could have a partnership. And so we met throughout the summertime. She came in the fall, did an in-house artist development workshop with them. And they had the opportunity at the end of like the 6 weeks, the opportunity was for them to perform in the parish room at the House of Blues. And they also have a program called they also have a concert called Bringing Down the House, where that is basically an opportunity you get to perform it at the main stage at House of Blues, and you get to have industry reps there, industry mentors. So that was the end all. Basically, if you did, we had to pick a winner within our stars, and whoever that winner was got to perform on the big stage at the House of Blues. So I still have that partnership. So we do a lot of work together, a lot. So yeah.
That's amazing. And again, that you're helping the kids turn their dreams into reality. Like, I remember when I was coming up, if something like Young Stars was around, I would have definitely wanted to be a part of it. Like,
Mhm.
how many times have doors been opened for young people to actually express themselves in big spaces? So,
Yeah.
pretty dope, and you're doing a really good job, my friend.
Thank you.
Of course. So now I want to talk about Ray. We talked about Ray as the artist, Ray as the CEO and owner. Now let's talk about being a background vocalist. How did you get into that? And what does that process look like? Like, just tell us about that.
BGVs is something I feel like I got into when I was always singing in groups. So, but when I came to New Orleans, I felt like BGVs, like, once people see you and say, "Oh, you sound good. You want to sing backs for me?" I was taking gigs for like $20. Girl, I remember one time we had a gig. He paid us $20. I asked my dad, I was like, "You supposed to get paid that much?" That's how much. He's like, no. I'm like, oh, you gotta pay $20. But like, and then I remember doing R&B Divas, Essence Fest. Like after somebody hear you and you like you are a good vibe, you have a good vibe, you're easy to work with, good work ethics, you have a nice blend, the nice look. Because unfortunately, I mean not unfortunately, but realistically, the look is also a part of BGVs. There is a swag that certain artists look for. I just was getting called from there, and I love singing BGVs, especially like when you have a solid group you sing with and y'all are friends, y'all are individual artists, but y'all get to sing BGVs together, and y'all get to vibe and have a good time. That's the best. That's the best. So I just
On a lot of different records, like I see your name. I One time I walked up on you at Essence and you were on the stage. I was like, yes, she killing it. Like,
like we both working that now I like stuff like that too though. Like I'm on the stage and then I'll see you doing your thing with the head thing, you walking fast. You walking fast, baby. Trucking it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, you be pleasant. You be pleasant. That's what I love. But baby, I gotta go. I love seeing that. I love that because you be working. It's like friends be my friends be everywhere. Backstage, Shayna be doing the video. Me and Tracy be on the mic. Like, and then we all get together and just. I love that. Oh my God, I love that.
being connected to like-minded people as you pursue your dreams and goals, and like you say, making them reality. Like, I absolutely, I miss Essence. Like, I really wanted to work Essence this year because I just missed just being around a lot of dreamers and a lot of creators.
Yeah,
I was so looking forward to linking with people this year, but hey,
yeah. It's always a good time. We be tired though. Ooh,
absolutely,
you start on a Monday. You start that Monday.
I
You
know.
that Monday. I be starting probably the same time. Rehearsal start that Monday.
Yeah, because you have
Yeah.
to learn the music too now. What's the longest work day you've ever worked at Essence or for any festival?
Honestly, festival season is always crazy. Essence is probably Jazz Fest is crazy too, but Essence Fest is crazy because like say like if I have a gig with somebody else on that Friday, right? Like that Friday when it starts. If I book a gig with somebody doing the super lounge, or if I book a gig with somebody doing the convention center, those people want to rehearse. But then I have the Essence Fest Sunday thing too at the convention center. So those rehearsals, so Friday I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sing at Essence. I can't enjoy it. I gotta go because I gotta go rehearse. So it's like those days be from the morning until 3 o'clock in the morning, like 8 a.m. to 3 o'clock a.m. And it's like, I don't complain. I'm never pissed. I'm like, I just feel like I'm just like, this is what I asked for. I'm not drained. I'm just tired. I'm tired. Like, but it's those days are long. I know your days be like 15 hours.
Yeah, basically. And like you said, it's working in the element of just in your element, your creative production, music business element. So yeah, you're tired, but you're so excited and you're enjoying meeting people and vibing with people and just making those connections. So I get it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm for it. I'm all for it. Like, as long as I can, I will. So, yeah, I'm for it. But they be long. That Monday, that Monday, I be like, don't talk to me. Don't ask me nothing. I don't know. I don't know. Don't talk to me.
What's the furthest you've ever traveled for a gig?
Russia and Australia.
Woo.
I
How
don't know. It was awesome. Those flights are long though. Australia flight was very long,
good.
18 hours. Can you just imagine on a flight 18 hours and then you go to sleep for 8 hours to wake up for 10? You got 10 hours remaining.
Yes. Ah, remember I went on a flight. I was young though. I don't remember too much, but to Germany, and that was a long, long time. So, baby, I can only imagine. But that had to be such a cool experience.
It was amazing. It was perfect. It was. I like Australia. I liked Australia. Russia was very hard up, but I wouldn't go back to Russia. But I'll definitely go back to Australia. I got to hold a koala bear.
Oh wow,
Cool. And the festival was so cool. It was on the beach. It was just everything. It was everything.
that's really
It was everything. I love it. I love it. And I just can't wait to do that like as my own artist, like go out, sing, like and just yeah, be amongst them people.
oh, it's gonna manifest.
Yes.
It's gonna manifest. So now let's talk about Ray as the worship leader. That's one of your newest endeavors, I'd say.
Yeah.
About that, how is that for you?
Right. I was so against it, remember? I was like, I ain't doing nothing with church. Um I'm like, baby, you remember? I'm like, I ain't not no church artist. Don't call me that. Well, what happened was and I think more so because like gospel is I don't know, like they say guys like when you think of gospel, you think of a certain type of singer, right? And I think because like my voice is like that, and I feel like I'm a black girl with a soft voice. I just kind of feel like because I'm a black girl, I'm not looked at to have a soft voice. Like sing big, do the runs, do this, do that. And that's that culture. That's that gospel culture. Like that is that stigma, and I don't like that. So I feel like that's why I just almost felt like I never really had a place. Like, but I don't. I love singing gospel. I love the Lord. I am. Oh yes, Lord. I rock to Him. You know, but it's just like I went to Beacon Light. I mean, I go to Beacon Light. That's my home church. That's where my tithes go. I've been there since I was 3 and a half, 4 years old. I feel like singing on a praise team. It wasn't what I was giving to the Lord. I enjoyed it. It was cool. But then, like, some part of me just felt like I wanted to do more. Like, I didn't want to just sing on a praise team anymore. But then I didn't know if like like I didn't know. I just didn't know. I just wanted to do more. So anyway, 2018, I think, yeah, because it's 2020. Yeah, 2018. This guy named Sheldon hit me up, and he was like, "Oh, we're looking for a worship leader at this church called Harbor." And I was like, oh, "Okay, cool." I was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind." He was like, "Oh, cool. Okay, good. So I want you to meet the pastor." I'm like, "All right." Go there, meet the pastor, and he's very nice. They're just very nice, warm, loving people. Go there, talk, and like their demographic sound is CCM, right? So then
You all day long.
that's just me, right? Because I'm like, perfect. Like, I always wanted to sing at this church. This is so crazy what I'm about to say right now. So I'm about to say this. I always want to sing at this church called Vintage, right?
I remember you talking about vintage all the time.
I always wanted to sing at this church called Vintage. Never, like I knew it looked so dope, had a cool vibe, whatever the case may be. Always wanted to sing there. Had a chance to sing like once Mark went over there or whatever, like I had a chance to sing over there like maybe once or whatever, but I was still like begin like just not really not doing nothing. So anyway, go to Harbor, and I was only supposed to be there for a month, but they liked me so much that they kept me, right? And it was like we're gonna extend this month. So when I got to Harbor, it was just a setting of like, okay, I understand what you have to do being a worship leader, like the emotional openness and just that oneness with God, because people are coming in here with heavy burdens. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like you have to sing from a place, you have to be connected. It's just like that type of energy. So did that. I love CCM. That is so my style. So like I just did what I did me, I just sung and yeah. And so what happened was they in March of 2018, the no, in March of 2019, the pastor was offered a position in Fort Lauderdale, and he took that position. His name is Pastor James. He took that position. Harbor merged with Vintage.
Wow. What?
Right? So crazy. I went to Vintage. This is so crazy how this happens because you remember, Ange, before all this, I was always saying I want to sing at Vintage, right? It was just a vibe. When Harbor merged with Vintage, it was so crazy. He didn't know that I knew Mark, I knew John, was our there and everything like that. Merged with them, I was the co-leader coming from Harbor to Vintage because they thought it was very important for our members to see someone that they were familiar with on the stage. Went to Vintage. I was like on contract with Harbor up until July, even though he wasn't there. I was still on contract with him. Stayed at Vintage, and I'm here, and I'm at Vintage as a worship leader. It's crazy,
That
but
is crazy.
it's so crazy and it's so perfect for me. It's not the easiest process because they weren't very nice to me, and that's another thing. It was a lesson because when we merged with Vintage, it wasn't a nice experience. The people weren't very receptive. But one thing I can say is that I just won't let anyone get in the way of my dreams or opportunity. So I don't care what you feel. I know why I'm here, and I know that I'm not doing anything to disrespect you, that you are really just, you don't like me just because, or you just have this thing with me just because. So you can keep that. But I'm here, like, and I felt like I got closer to God. I felt like my singing even now has gotten better. Like my approach on the stage, like everything that I needed to be a better artist, a better teacher, a better vocal teacher, a better performer, whatever. Like I feel like a better individual spiritually, like connected with God, having that openness and that wholeness with Him, like has come from this. And I feel like I wouldn't let myself or anything like mess up that. Like I'm just really, I like it. I love it. And yeah, I'm here. I'm doing that.
But that's amazing to me. Like one of the themes I just heard, like how you speak things in intentionality. And I remember when we were at Dillard and I had this book called The Secret, and I used to read that. And I mean, there's some parts that I throw away from the book, and there's some parts that I keep. But for the most part, when you're intentional and you think about what you want and you keep your eyes on it and you meditate on it and you just hold it near and dear in your heart, those kind of things manifest. And one thing you would always say is, I want to sing a vintage. I want to sing a vintage.
Right.
Always said that. And when it actually happened, like I didn't know the backstory, or maybe I did, but when it actually happened, I was like, wow. And
It's happening. It's in there. That's crazy.
so, like, I honestly believe in the power of being intentional and, uh, like,
Like
affirmations and being repetitive and manifesting those things because that's real. It's so
it's so real, like we have this, like these goals and visions that we have in our mind that we think are so big, like they're in our mind for a reason. And that process, the process that we're going through right now, will get us to that. Like those big dreams, those big, we used to talk about that all the time. Like those dreams, those stores, those endeavors, like those organizations, like they will happen. You are forming into that person now. Like these doors that are opening, like Harbor open to give me the vintage open to give me somewhere else. It just keeps, you know what I'm saying, the process keep happening, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. My daddy always talked about patience.
he
I feel
does.
like
He does. He'll be, what do you say, Luddy?
No, that's my mom. He said, Bookie, he said, you going, do you want to just perform for, you want to be in a setting where the people make all the noise and you don't get no money? Or you want to be in a setting where people don't really make noise and they take everything in and they just have a different way and they pay money? What do you want? Do you want the glitz and glams or do you want the solid foundation?
Your daddy always keep it real and always bring it home because as creatives and artists, like sometimes we can get emotional and we have these big dreams and goals and sometimes we want them to manifest now.
Yeah.
We say we put the work in, we've done this, we've done that. When is it going to be my turn? When is it going to manifest? When is it going to happen? And your dad always had such a way to reel it back in and to remind you, hey, this is a part of the process. And look at you. I know you're talking to your students now, telling them the same thing. I
Yep.
know you're encouraging other creatives the same way that your father encouraged you.
Yeah, I'm like, it's all a part of the process. Like when you have, like, I saw something today. What they said, it was like, um, something about the titles. I just don't remember. I don't remember. But basically saying like, when your heart is in an amazing place, when you do things with an amazing heart, you will reap from that.
Absolutely.
Like, when you, like, I feel like when you invest into other things, and you know this to be true too, when you invest into things, sometimes it seems like you're gaining nothing. Like, it seems like you just are just like, I'm doing this, I'm not getting paid for this, I'm putting in time, I'm getting little to nothing. But then when you see the end result, it's like, when you sometimes I would develop like the skill more than the money. Like,
Absolutely.
I will have an opportunity more than the money.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
I
that's just
for that. And wait, first I want to say about you said having an amazing heart. That's one thing. Um, when people know you, Rayon, they learn that your heart is so golden. It's such a beautiful place. So you have such an amazing heart. But yeah, like sometimes you put the work in, and I appreciate you saying that the seeds that I've sown. Um, I'm going to reap and manifest. But I've always been a person where I understood, hey, like when I was a novice, because I feel like I am at a certain level and I'm a lifelong learner. But I feel like I've gotten to a certain level because of people like you and other people that I've collabed with, like with the nonprofit, helping with the show, planning, stage management, or whatever. Having the chance to have creative freedom, also with respect for your vision, because it's so important to respect the visionary's vision.
but
But
you know what, and that's the thing with like-minded and like-hearted people, because I feel like I give the vision one time, baby. I don't I don't hover. I do not micromanage. Baby, I know what you can do, I cannot do. And I don't want to do, I respect what you bring to the table and I respect your opinion. I respect everything. Like, once that runner show is printed, I don't know. I am
ask Angie, ask her,
ex and
go to Sid.
ex baby. I don't, that's just I step back. I don't hover, and I feel like that's what I love, like giving you that creative, like walking in your own, while also, like you said, honoring the vision. But still, like, the vision is nothing like that. It's just so stick in the mud that it can't be, modified or whatever. But it's like, you just bring what you bring to the table and I let it be. You tell me what to do, where I'm going, what I do. Okay. Like,
Yes. So yeah, like just having creative spaces like this to learn and grow. I'm always been so appreciative. And Young Stars will always be my little baby. And you can always come and pull
Yes.
on me forever, forever. And I know that I can always pull on you for Perfectly Flawed and Angie Be Creative and all those other things.
Yes,
I already know.
baby, I was one. I chose. I was
You were my brand ambassador.
I was so whatever, honey. Come on, I'll take whatever. Those blue walls was used. You take a picture here.
Oh, the truth at Young Stars and everything. Yes, indeed. I remember all
But yeah.
that. And this interview is so awesome. I do want to talk about the Young Stars concert coming up next. I'm going to put the slide up. You heard it here. She's such a passionate individual. Um, she wants to help the inner city kids, give them opportunities. What if she has openings coming up? You can help fund a child to have tuition, to get the opportunity to express themselves, to get the opportunity to take their minds off of their everyday lives, or to tap into that God potential that lives inside of them. I remember when I was going through things as a youth, music saved my life. The arts saved my life. Creativity saved my life. It took me out of my reality. And you can help with that. And I'm gonna place the giving information if you want to just donate to a good cause, because this is a good cause. She has a good heart. She's pushing these kids. I see the talent. I've seen her take kids where she met them in 6th grade, and now some of them are 12th grade or maybe have graduated, and the confidence that they've grown into, the person that they've become through Young Stars. It's such a great place. So be sure to give, donate in any way that you can. So now let's talk about Young Stars' upcoming event. Tell the people a little bit about that.
Okay, so basically, I mean, that let's just take the obvious that the pandemic is very present, very current. So that's what's happening. We will usually be having a concert at this time, like this week, within this month.
Oh,
Last year the concert was on June 29th. So the last thing we had was the Black History Show, which was February 29th. So then I'm saying Katrina. The corona happened like in March, like the week of my birthday. So March maybe 13th. Anyway, now we're here. Young Stars turned 5 this year in September. So right now we are planning a concert for them. It won't be in July, clearly. It won't be in August, but it will be in September, well, the month that Young Stars turns 5. So I'm thinking we could do it big. We could do a concert, and it's gonna be a drive up concert.
oh
So
wow.
yes, so we are in the works with that right now. Actually, when I get back home, like I'm gonna just type everything up. So that's what we planning for. Hopefully, like in the middle of September, and then we could just do it like that. We could celebrate the 5th year. I would love some fireworks. So you know how I am in my planning phase. I be just when my mind out there, I'm out there.
Yes,
And the fact I want fireworks, I'm gonna get fireworks. You
absolutely.
know how I feel.
You're gonna manifest those fireworks, and you're gonna manifest such a
Just-
great experience, a beautiful
yeah, so it's in my mind. It's already written in my journal. So it's like,
that journal. That's where it all goes down. In that
that journal writes everything down, baby. But so I written in my journal. So that's what we're aiming for. And this time is basically gonna be like, like they did the House of Blues did with them, like the in-house artist development, but we're gonna host our own artist development, and they're gonna write a song, they're gonna sing their original song, they're gonna like perform their own set. It's
wow.
gonna be a cool vibe, yeah.
I'm excited to see about that.
I'm excited too. So
See that come to pass. So
yeah, so that's what we're working on. So September, just be on the lookout. We gonna push it.
minds. And of course, y'all can go to Angie Be Creative, my page, or my personal page. I'm going to post a flyer when that time comes, so we can stay
Hmm.
connected and we can follow Young Star, such a great organization. And you're going to connect with Raion. I have the slide with her information up. Follow her, follow all of her endeavors. Such an amazing person. Ray, I have two more things I want to do before we go. So, if you could be any Disney princess, which one would you be and why?
I would be Pocahontas.
Why?
And why? Your girl was very bold, but she was soft bold. She wasn't overwhelming. She wasn't obnoxious. She was fearful, but and like despite her fear, like she pushed through. She had an open mind. When she met John Michael, I think that's his name, right? When she met him, she was very open to him. Her people were against him, and her people were against him, and they were the Native Americans was against the Americans, and the Americans was against them. But she stepped behind and crossed the boundary, and he also did. Well, he judged her. That's what Colors of the Wind is all about. So I would feel like I would love to be Pocahontas. She was just very soft but very brave, humble, open-minded. And then I'll be like, if then the second one I'd be Ariel.
Hey, why? Tell me about that one.
I like Ariel because Ariel was just a risk taker, girl. She just felt like I want to live beyond the sea. Like there has to be so much more than just the sea. Like I don't want to stay here. I don't want to just be a mermaid. It was almost like if I could have best of both worlds, give me that. If I could just snap my finger and I have the mermaid thing, let me have that. But then if I could snap my finger and have legs, let me have that too. Like she wanted to live beyond. She had sisters, and she was always the one that was like, no, there has to be more than this. That is what part of your world is all about. So those two, like, I feel like they about what and what.
Both free spirits.
Both free spirits, both like go getters, both.
Mesh because we're both free spirited.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like they could do a Princess Raion.
Oh, that would be so cute.
Oh, that's a good name.
That would be so cute.
They could do like, and they could center it around like my real life, being a New Orleans girl, having an organization singing, having artist friends. That's real.
Maybe it'll manifest one day.
I hope so.
Because every time we're intentional, things manifest.
Yeah.
Maybe they heard it here first on the creative process.
That'd be so cool. Like a girl who's just wanting to have her dreams, like make dreams into reality, but yet, she has an organization, she has friends, of course, they like really our lives, like our ups, our downs. When we can have a little evil part, like how you have a little a little bad person. They always have a bad person
Always. In every
so it could be that. That'd be cool.
class.
What was the second one?
Well, the last thing I want you to do is I want you to talk to those people out there with that untapped potential, those stars in the making, those people who want to make their dreams turn into reality, those people who may have gotten fired from a job and want to start an organization or write a song or write a book or just be creative. Like, I want you to just take a moment and just encourage them and talk to them and talk to that inner star.
Okay, let me think.
Okay. You're so silly.
Okay, so I think to any person who has a dream and you're scared and you are discouraged and you feel like that dream is too big and it's just a dream, I think the thing is that when you think about it, if that dream is coming to you, you have to understand that no one else probably have that specific dream. So it is the reason you have that dream. It is the reason you have that gift. It is the reason you have that desire and that love. And why not manifest it? Because it's needed, it's wanted in this world. And you need that dream. You need that vision. The people connected to you, your family, you may be that chosen person in your family. If you feel different, I guarantee you are different. But don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as too much is given, much is required, right? That may be hard. That may be hard to understand, but you are that person who can change that. And how honorable is that? Like if God bless you with that and you have you have a part to change the world and to change your family, why not do it? Do it. Do it. You deserve it. Your family deserve it. The world deserve it. Your children deserve it. Your children's children deserve it. Yeah, plant that seed. Go after that dream. It's okay if you're fired. It's all a part of the process. Because in order for you to be a leader, you have to go through things. You can't be up here with nothing down here, right? That just doesn't make sense. So in order for you to be the leader, you have to go through the position of being the janitor, the secretary, the person who understands what it takes to be a leader. So go through this process. Don't look at it as a bad thing. And keep dreaming, keep doing it. Like, do it, do it, do it, because no one else can do it, and but you. That's your power. So do it.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. That was beautifully put. Well, I thank you so much, Ray, for just coming through. I love how just vibey this was. It was just really like a conversation, girl, this and girl that, just running it. I really enjoyed this. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for coming on. And
you think you think I'm a good interview person?
I think so. You just like, you so laid back and you just yourself and you're authentically you. So you did a good job. I'm proud of you. And here's so many more interviews to go. This water. Clink.
Water.
So thank you so much for coming on today. Like I said, I will keep you all posted with future endeavors regarding YoungStarz, my little godchild, my little god baby. Turning 5 in September. Where's the time going?
Crazy. It kind of seems like time been slow and fast at the same time.
Oh,
Young Stars has done a lot to
it,
say it's five. To
I mean,
say it's
it was
five.
a nonprofit at 1.5, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like yikes. Like that's another thing. Before we go, when when you're favored, I've been saying this so much. Like when you're favored, things don't make sense. And it won't make sense. It will not make sense. It will seem like, why me? Like favored is even when it doesn't, it doesn't, I don't even I'm not even qualified for this, right? I didn't want to be a business owner growing up. I never said I wanted to be a business owner, but I feel like that's God's favor. Like you have this gift, there is other streams of this gift that you can pour into, right? I just feel like when you're favorite, God starts to put just things into like, like just people, connections, doors. I can't say nothing, young stars. I'm just Raion that like that's running young stars, but it ain't me. It's not me. It is not me. Like young stars is blessed, and young stars will forever be blessed. And I always say that young stars is blessed outside of me. Like outside of me, like that is God's hand is on YS.
So good.
Like when you're favored, and that's for dreamers too. You too, Ange. Like this right here is the very beginning, but I feel like when you are in a position, like things are just pouring into you, happening, lining up, and you don't know how, but all you have to do is
Just take the first step.
just take the first step and just do it. Like God will open those doors, bring those people. Sometimes you may not make all the money. It's not about the money. Because guess what? Once you have those resources and things align, the money will come inevitably, like just dropping in you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, like it's God favor. Like
I mean, you're just flowing tonight.
it's real.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
what you just said, like, even with the creative process, I always say, God, thank you for this amazing idea, and it is yours. It's not me. There's nothing
Yeah.
so spectacular about Angela. You place things on inside of me, but it is all for you and your glory. And I will always remember that no matter where this thing goes, it's yours, and I am just a conduit that you are just speaking through and you're using. So I love that, Ring That was beautiful.
Yes, like I feel like once I see a vision, once I see a dream, I see it big. Like I see this already. You know what I'm saying? You I go like. I'm the. I just understand it, and I think that's what it is. Like you're
Like,
blessed, faithful.
we gonna have this concert at Disney World, and I don't know how I'm gonna pay for it. We're gonna have the fireworks, and then there's gonna be water pouring over us, but in large life-size bubbles. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
And then I bring it to the table at the meeting, yo. And this time our meetings will be, y'all. This might sound crazy, but we gonna do this. Like I don't know how this is happening.
And when
That's
I'll be like, "Yep, let's make it."
that's how it happened with the Maroney Opera House. That's how it happened with contemporary art. So it's like I don't know how we're doing this, but I want it at the Maroney Opera House. That's why I see it being. Let's do it. I'm gonna figure it out, and then it happens.
All the
It happens.
Is that fair?
It's that favor. I don't take it lightly either. And when you have that favor, it is your duty. It is your duty to spread to spread those blessings. It is your duty because everyone doesn't have that. So why be favorable and be hard up? Why be favorable and be, like it ain't fair. Favor is not fair. So people already gonna look at you like, oh, you just think you all that. Like, why prove that wrong? Prove that wrong. Like, no. No, I'm nice, I'm genuine, I'm humble. And just as well as it was unlikely for me and it happened for me, you could be unlikely and it happened for you. And I'm going to help you make that happen. So, yeah.
Well, guys, she said so many great things today. I know you were inspired. Please follow her. All of her information is on the screen right now. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Creative Process, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.